this is Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling with Platinum versus NXT. This is from January 27th, 2021. What can I say? On a night where Dynamite, their direct competition, got their shit together. NXT continued to sort of march forward with these, I don't know how you put it, B shows, B to B plus shows. Again, not a terrible thing. It doesn't feel like a show that is actively competing. It feels like a show that is happy that they've kind of found sort of safe grooves in which to work. The Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic tag matches provide the bulk of things, and then you have a couple of palate cleanser matches in there. What I call a palate cleanser match is a match that's usually a squash or a match that runs shorter in order to sort of give you a break from the usual pace and length of your typical match. NXT, every wrestling show does this, where the TV matches are of a certain length and rhythm. But NXT suffers from this perhaps a little more than most of the others. So we open up the show with a look back at last week's show. Not the biggest fan of that, but again, they want to make sure they're catching everybody up, such as it is. We got Vic Joseph, we got Wade Barrett, and we got Beth Phoenix. Okay. Fans are chanting. They're very active. Again, that's one of the things NXT has in its advantage is because it's at the Capitol Center / Performance Center. You have a number of trainees there to help out. And it is just a much better look when you've got the crowd there. No hint or inclination that Royal Rumble this weekend is going to feature any NXT people. Hopefully it will, but certainly there was none of that vibe about this show. Even if they mentioned things a time or two, you just never got the feeling that any of these guys are going to get their shot at WWE at the Royal Rumble. We shall see, though. We got a Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Quarterfinals match. We got MSK against Killian Dane and Drake Maverick. Here's the other major problem they're suffering from, besides a sort of sense of being in the groove blandness, is every match was a foregone conclusion for a regular watcher of the show. I don't consider myself somebody who really knows NXT that deeply beyond watching the show, and I called literally every match correctly. That's a problem. Someone who's casual like me shouldn't be able to call what happens in every single match. And right here I put MSK in big letters and circled it, and sure enough, they hit their big blockbuster for the pin to win in advance after a very good match. We see footage of Pete Dunne driving up and dropping off the NXT Tag Champs. And I already circled an awfully big deal for a team that's going to lose. Oh, that's terrible. But it is true, right? If I'm doing this, I guarantee you other people are doing this. And how long can you watch a show that doesn't surprise you or even lead you to a place where you're curious about what's going to happen? You know, it's important. It's an important part of the show, and they need to incorporate that in, or they're only going to see ratings bumps, not as a trend, but when they do specialty shows. That shows there's an audience out there that's interested enough in what they're doing, just not interested enough to watch every week, or not watch their TV show every week, but maybe they'll catch clips and that kind of thing. And that's not really capturing a fan base by and large. We get a video package of Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Their video stuff is really good. It really is. It also has Robert Stone hyping the new team of Aliyah and Jesse. Their tournament match is going to come up. We got a commercial back from the break. We get a pre-recorded interview with Mackenzie and Kurt Stallion. He talks about Legado del Fantasma, in the match with the cruiserweight champ Santos Escobar. So Stallion talks about the run that he's on, and that the cruiserweight title is next. Mackenzie wishes him good luck for later tonight. We've got a women's tag team classic Dusty Rhodes first round match. Jeez, that's a mouthful. Got Jessie and Alia against Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Not for 1 second did I think Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez weren't going to win this, and that's fine, but they most certainly did. They get booed. It is what it is. We got Kai and Gonzalez facing Kaden, Carter, and Casey, who hit that ridiculous move to win their match. So we got second round action next week happening with the women. Mackenzie is backstage with the Way. No great shakes here. Gargano and Theory do their thing. Theory tells Mackenzie to not say Kushida's name because of his 2 recent wins. I get the cleverness there of let's bring up his wins while acting like we're not going to bring up his wins. Sure. The Way walks off and we see Dexter Loomis appear. Bum, bum, bum. Back to commercial. Back from the break. Interesting little segment here. Scarlett's giving a tarot card reading. The video flashes Scarlett and Karrion Kross. I like that they do different kind of videos on NXT and they try stuff out for sure. So Scarlett is warning others to stay on their own journey, or Kross will alter his. Fall and pray. I am down with the tarot card reading stuff. I think it's different. I think it's interesting, and I hope they stick with it. Or else it feels like they took a really good idea out of circulation for no reason if they don't keep up with it. Get a preview of Tegan Knox appearing on Brie Larson's YouTube channel for a workout episode. That's cool. That's a cool kind of thing. Hopefully Tegan Knox looks good on it. I think that's really wonderful. And the kind of cool little things that NXT people should be doing. They're young and good looking and all that kind of good stuff. Tyler Rust versus Rios. Didn't really catch his first name, I'm embarrassed to say. We got this match going, and if I didn't catch his last name, I mean, it's a foregone conclusion, right? Rios taps out to that kind of modified Rings of Saturn submission, and Tyler Rust wins. Good little match. It felt like a palate cleanser. Bivens enters the ring, takes selfies. We go to replays. Rust and Bivens end the segment with a show of respect to each other. Interesting. We get a video package for the Grizzled Young Veterans versus Kushida and Leon Ruff, and I immediately go, Grizzled Young Veterans are going to win. Back from the break, and Mackenzie is with NXT champ Finn Balor in the back. They have this little drama about O'Reilly's teaming with them, but they don't have to trust each other if they're on the same page, which seems contradictory, but I guess I get what they're saying. O'Reilly walks off after a stare down. Got a tag team classic quarterfinals match, Leon Ruff and Kushida against the Grizzled Young Veterans. I wrote at the top, this is probably going to go on a little longer than it should, and I already know who's going to win. Guess what happens? They go a little longer than they should, and the Grizzled Young Veterans win. At least everybody's winning with finishers, I suppose, at this stage, which is really nice. So Grizzled Young Veterans are going to face the winners of, let me take a look, Timothy Thatcher. They're going to face the winners of Thatcher and Ciampa versus Adam Cole and Roderick Strong. Oh, that'll be good either way, honestly. The Way rushes the ring. Austin Theory and Gargano attack Kushida in the ring at once. He tries to fight him off. Theory goes to ringside to attack Ruff. Gargano hits his move, one final beat on Kushida. Gargano mounts Kushida with the title in his face. Loomis suddenly appears, scaring Theory and making him run back to the ring to join Gargano. Loomis stares at the way as they back out of the ring. Okay. And Theory's really putting on the I'm scared face here. Really going for it. Appreciated. They're making a thing out of Loomis again, which is probably the right move if I'm being honest. The announcers are talking about the Cruiserweight title match. And we see Kurt Stallion down and back with apparent injury as others checking on him. William Regal asks what happened. And Stallion says, Legado got him. Back to commercial. Bum, bum, bum. A little bit of intrigue at least. Back from the break. I really like the NXT UK promo. I think it looked really good. Wade Barrett hypes Thursday's show. No, I will not add that to my freaking billion shows that I watch and comment on. So screw you. NXT Cruiserweight title match will not be happening. Mackenzie's backstage with Legado. Santos Escobar says it's really unfortunate what happened. Regal storms in, he's pissed. Legado acts like they're innocent. Regal says Escobar will defend the Cruiserweight title next week. And if Stallion is mysteriously attacked, then all three members of that team, Legado del Fantasma, will face some kind of consequences. Escobar notices a tarot card in his gym bag. He acts scared about it and then he laughs it off. So we got Scarlett and Karrion Kross apparently playing mind games with Escobar after he took a shot at Kross on the mic last week. Oh, I like that. And then he says TikTok to mock Kross and Scarlett. I like it. They're mocking the thing and they're going to pay for it. Oh boy, a ticking time bomb and something that advances to the next show. I like that as well. Between that and the kind of boring tournament formats, at least it looks like each show is moving forward into the next, into bigger and bigger things. We'll see if that translates rating-wise. We go out to the ring. Toni Storm is there. Takes the mic. She's going to take something. Goes on about winning the NXT UK Women's title from Rhea Ripley and winning the Mae Young Classic by defeating the current NXT champion Io Shirai. She wanted to win the first ever Women's Dusty Road Tag Team Classic, but Shirai took that from her. So she wants to hurt Shirai and take the title from her. All makes sense to me. Here comes Shirai. Yay! Takes the mic, stares Storm down. Says she doesn't like her. It's nice. Brawl breaks out. Shirai ends up drop kicking Storm, sending her to the floor. Shirai stands tall, but then Mercedes Martinez attacks from behind. Oh, nice. See, a little bit of a surprise, a little bit of stuff. Storm eventually raises that title. Her and Martinez, the two-prong assault. Interesting. Babyface champion in peril. All good stuff. Mackenzie is backstage. I do wish, I mean, this is one place where they have AEW clearly beaten, and it's in the women's division. NXT can easily point to that because Io Shirai always has things going on. She's always interjecting herself in different things going on. And on the AEW side, what do you have? You have Hikaru Shida, who disappears for weeks at a time, and then they sort of manufacture her a thing to do, and then she goes away again. Meanwhile, Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa have had this thing built up, and they're getting the flagship match and beach break for the women. It's a problem. It's a big problem. Mackenzie's backstage with Isaiah Scott. This, I gotta admit that I had a hard time focusing. It is what it is. So basically we're gonna get Swerve versus Reed. It wasn't particularly engaging. I just have to be honest. but they have to try things. This is a developmental thing, no matter what they say. This is a very much a work in progress in the best of ways. Yeah. Back from the break, get a video package on Imperium. We got NXT UK champion Walter, scary motherfucker, Alexander Wolf, Marcel Barthel, and Fabian. I'm a big fan of all these guys, especially that Walter. Scary as shit. So they talk about global domination. They say they're going to arrive. They got a shot with Walter in the Imperium logo. Makes sense to me. Adam Cole and Roderick Strong are backstage with Mackenzie Mitchell now. They know that Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa are tough to beat. Of course they are. Talk about the Undisputed. Now we got Isaiah against Bronson Reed, seeing as we promoted one half of the show with the other half. Is what it is. This is your good long match. Bronson Reed, of course, wins. And that's it. Tommaso Ciampa's got a pre-recorded message. He's been in many fights, etc., etc. Throws that chair. Fight Pit took a lot out of him. I like that they're having the after effects of that big important match. And now we got our main. Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly against the NXT Tag Champs. They, as predicted, after a really long, good match, Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly win, but the main part is they hurt Finn Balor's hand. Dun, dun, dun. So the heels hurt his hand, and now O'Reilly is looking on, and Balor's looking at O'Reilly and then over at Cole, and then he backs out of the ring. So he really is the hurt babyface champion, a man alone. And that's where we end it. Again, pretty much meat and potatoes. Nothing bad on the show. Nothing particularly fascinating either, and that's going to be a problem, though there are promising things. This is longer than I usually talk about NXT, but I thought it was a show that sort of was a good show to sort of take a snapshot of and just look at where they're at in different things. What are they going to do once these tag team tournaments end? Hopefully they don't end them on the exact same show, because that would be problematic. And I think we can see why. Anyway, this is Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling, with Platinum versus NXT. Easy as 1, 2, 3.